Hello everyone, welcome back to the lab today. So as I said in few weeks ago in one of the Rose Dragon Link video, recently I've been more researching on Lightning Overdrive already. And as you've seen on the topic of this video, today's topic is about Tri-Brigade or different kind of interesting things around Tri-Brigade for the format post Lightning Overdrive. Well, before we actually dive into the cards, let me show you something else that people have been talking about in the past couple weeks. If you do pay attention to Road of the King about their OCG tournament reports, you'll actually see Tri Brigade is actually being um doing pretty well in OCG and taking like the first place in the pie chart for several weeks consecutively already. As you see, obviously OCG have a completely different format as to us. There's like, let me see, what's the main difference? Maxi is obviously legal, well, therefore there's cross out. Um, LP is banned a while already. Nadir is limited, so therefore, the top two in TCG right now, Dragon Link and Shadal Invoke Dogmatica variants. Those two decks are kind of dead over there because the difference in the ban list, and therefore OCG has more variety of different decks, and majority of them are majority of the leading ones are actually like more control decks instead of combo decks in TCG. However, what makes this Tri-Brigade strategy being the tier one or the number one actually in OCG, something new is because there's actually there's only one new card, one new Tri-Brigade Link monster in Lightning Overdrive that actually significantly boosts the consistency, and I'll say, yeah, just make the deck even better because the trap is searchable. So let me just hop on Yugi Pro and I will show everyone what the specific card is. The new card from Lightning Overdrive, Tri-Brigade Bear Bloom, the Solid Assault, just call it Bear Bloom. It's a link to, it requires two Tri-Brigade monster. You discard two cards, first of all, the on-field effect, you discard two cards to target a one of your banished level 4 lower beast warrior, wing beast, as I say, the tri beast types. You spell summon it, that's it. Well, this effect is not really useful for just because the discard two is a pretty big cost in this deck. However, the main effect is when this card, or if this card is sent to graveyard, you get to search a Tri-Brigade spell trap, which is mainly or pretty much only the Tri-Brigade Revolt, and you search it, then you shuffle a card back from your hand to the deck, and for the rest of the turn, you can only spell summon Tri-Brigade monster. That's pretty much it. That's from the beginning, when you look at it, it's not really particularly an amazing card. However, the card you search of Bear Bloom, Tri-Brigade Revolt. This card's already out. It's a common, surprisingly, from, was that Phantom Rage? Yeah, Phantom Rage. Hopefully, we're probably getting this as a super in the future in OTS because it's one of the most broken card in this whole archetype. Tri-Brigade Revolt. It's a soul charge. You activate. You spell summon any number of the Tri Beast type monster from either graveyard or banish pile, and then you immediately link all of them into a Tri-Brigade Link monster using only those monsters. And because it also involving Banish Pile, it doesn't really target. And because it summon it first and link away, so it gets to trigger everything that can be triggered when they send to graveyard. So the card is very broken. And what you summon of Revolt mainly is Shurike. Shurike. The existing, I think it's a secret in Phantom Rage. If this card is summoned, or if another Tri Beast type monster is summoned to the field, you can banish a card on the field. Um, This effect is trigger on summon majority of the time and doesn't target. So pretty much, long story short, you go your turn going through Bear Bloom, search your trap, set everything, set up like a minimum board. Your opponent's turn, soul charge everything into link everything into Shurek, the link 4. Then on summon, you get to banish a card on the field, and also has a flow effect. If this card's into graveyard, you search a Tri-Beast type monster from your deck to your hand, whose level is less or equal than the amount of those Tri-Beast type monster in your banish pile. So on itself, it's a removal by the trap, and when sent to graveyard, it's a follow up. And I guess I'll just introduce all the Tri-Brigade monsters since not everyone know everything about it. All the monster in the main deck, there's literally only 4 of them, right? There's only 4. Yeah, there's only 4 main deck monster. They have a common effect where you can banish any number of the Tri-Beast type monster in the graveyard to sort of perform a link summon to spell summon a link monster equal to the link rating, or whose link rating equal to the amount of monster you banished. It's not a proper link summon, so the monster you bring out by this effect cannot be special summoned by like Monster Reborn or Revolt, because it was not proper summon. However, this is like free because every single monster can do that, so it's very easy to access your extra. Well, yeah, forgot to say you can only summon one of those the Tri Beast type link monster. And after you use the effect, you apply the side effect where you cannot use any monster as link material for the rest of the turn except the Tri Beast type monsters, which in this time majority of the time it don't matter. Majority of the time it don't matter, and that's the common effect. Every single one can do it, and they individually have different effect. Fractal, you can send it from your hand or field to graveyard to mill another one from a deck to graveyard. Keras is like Abystius, where you pitch another Tri-Beast monster to spell summon it from your hand. Kit get to mill another one when it's into graveyard, and Nerval search one when it's into graveyard. So overall, this is like sort of the core. If you pay more attention to LCG, people right now, majority are playing like our max out Fractal, Kit, and Nerval because they all kind of get to other cards, and only 2 Keras, but 2 is enough. It really doesn't access to other cards. Um, it has the whole core, the whole like Tri-Brigade core has a very similar feeling like Pure Zoo. Yeah, pretty much. Because every single of the mini monster in the main deck can access to pretty much whatever you need in the extra deck, and search an interruption and enter something else. So, and once you resolve the trap where you search during the combo, you get your monster back. And once they link away, like Kit and Nerval can both trigger again because you get to summon it and then link away and send to graveyard. So Nerval just replace itself by another Tri-Brigade monster in the deck. And well, however, they all like Beast Warrior, Wing Beast, and because there's Beast Warrior, there's also Tenki. Because they're Tenki in the in the most popular OCG build, it was more a Zoo Tri-Brigade deck. They run a minimum of 3 Zoo monster plus a barrage. That's probably the pretty much the Zoo core. Um, Going first, I probably don't need it because the Tri-Brigade core itself can actually do a slightly bigger board with better follow up. But worst case, you have a Dryden if you only have the Zoo monster. Going second, obviously, well, people probably being experiencing the the power of Zeus. So that's a very good strategy going second. And Tenki can search you Fractal. Fractal pretty much equal to any Tri-Brigade monster. And Tenki on the other side can access to any Zoo monster. And Barrage is, well, worst case, another quote unquote extender, sort of. And when these Zoo monsters are in the graveyard, they are costs for all the Tri-Brigade monsters because you only need to banish you don't need to banish Tri-Brigade, you only need to banish the Tri-Beast type, Beast Warrior Wing Beast. So yeah, that's where the synergy has. So I think the core is about the top two row plus barrage, so about 21 cards. That's what people been playing in OCG right now and being more popular here. Um, the second half of the deck in the main deck you see are just possible options people being trying differently. Desire is popularly played due to the fact every single monster is can replace each other, right? So you only need to draw one of them. You don't care about which one. Like, I mean, you obviously prefer to draw Fractal, but you don't really care about specifically which one you really need. Also, can Desire can increase your hand size, and since all the Tri-Brigade, like especially the Berry Bloom and the Frigid, the Link twos, they don't they're like Konami really designed the deck to be as fair as it can. So despite Berry Bloom Revolt and Frigid draw a card, and you still have to after you search or you draw, you still have to put another card from your hand to back to the deck. Where it's not really a plus one, it's just a swap. However, if you play Desires, you literally just increase your hand size. Now you have better choices to throw back to the deck, which that's why people prefer Desires over any other pots in the in existence. Foolish is another possible card. I've been seeing people play Foolish. I've also seen people playing Rescue Cat. Like Rescue Cat itself is actually quote unquote a full combo. It's not really that much things, but it's a full board. Foolish on the other hand, it's just another copy of like either Care or Nerval or Fractor, depend how you want to see it. The issue is since everything is just sort of already access to each other, and even kit itself is sometimes getting a little bit too redundant. Therefore, foolish may not be needed, and I don't see that many foolish being played in the deck. But it's just a possible choice. And hand traps are just and the non-engine cards are pretty much just whatever. Like depends on how the format is. Nib Nif and Taz Astro, I think, are the popularly played now due to Dragonlink being dominant, followed by Shaddoll variants. Cosmic for obviously the Schism, but Schism isn't really that big of an issue for this deck, considering like you can easily access to, for example, the Ancient Warrior guy that just straight bounce back window. Also since everything banished, so the deck actually has an issue where it can get Lancia pretty bad, and Cosmin might expose that issue. So that's you can possibly replace this with either Twin, MST, Lightning Storm, or whatever back removal you prefer for the format, but we'll see. And there are some like backup hand trap, Valerian Perm, Veteran Perm just in general okay. They're not the format. They're not good in the current format because they're not really doing enough. However, if well, even in OCG right now, since Tri-Brigade has been the first in the pie chart, and people start carrying more and more, Vader Imperm actually very good against like just the Tri-Brigade mini monster since everything activates on the field. So these two actually has a rising popularity in OCG right now. Crow is a funny one. It's not particularly that good, but because Shurag has an effect where if it's sent to graveyard, you search a Tri-Beast monster from your deck to hand based on the number of banished Tri-Beast monster you have. So DD Crow is actually searchable at some point in this deck. So it might be a Q one-off in case just to have an option if you want. Bell is another one because like it's another one that could be played more popular in the future due to the fact Revolt is a soul charge and your sheer power of your board heavily rely on Revolt resolving, and Bell is something that can't really just straight negate Revolt because it spells summon monster from the graveyard. So Bell might be popular. Bell might get popularity in the future. That's possible. So remember that's a card. Gamma and Driver is also cute due to the fact Fractal pitch itself to send Kill or Nerval and Nerval Search, and people might ask you here to cut down your the only monster you have, and Gamma is the answer to it. Gamma itself is obviously a good hand trap, a strong hand trap, and due to the characteristic of you search a card and you put another card back to your hand, back from your hand to the deck. If you open Gamma and you fail to use it, you can just shuffle it back because you don't need it anymore, and this is the perfect card to put it back. Dude, yeah, why not? Um, and then same logic apply to 3T, because if your opponent hand trap you, you resolve 3T. If your opponent don't hand trap you, at the end of the combo, you just shuffle the 3T back to the deck, which, yeah, that's fine. Call by is another thing. Call by is just a good way because you do lose to like random things, Valor, Lancia, sometimes even Ash and Bell on the Revolt. Call by is not a bad one. And I do see other people playing like different kind of just actually playing traps over hand traps. Which yeah, like as you see, the core of the deck is about only what 24 cards. The first two row 20, barrage, and 3 pots. 4 is not even a guarantee card, so the core is only 24 cards. The rest 16 can just be whatever cards you want to play, whatever non-engine cards, whatever combination of hand traps, real traps, defensive utility cards, anything. So yeah, I do see some people play actually just a hell model trap, which is expected, which is fair. Revolt itself is also a normal trap, so uh, so it also works with trap trick, and you can play like a small trap trick engine, be like trap trick into revolt, into eye track in prison, maybe even into like imperm or some situation like Sanctum Size, whatever thing you want to have. Uh, yeah, that's pretty much how people build a main deck. As you see it earlier, I do have the as you see earlier the Road of King, the OCG pie charts. I'll probably link the most recent one to in the description as when I record a video. So if you're interested, just hop in. There's like couple example lists you can really see it since we haven't really entered the format and they've been already experienced it. So this is how the main deck is. Extra deck wise, I probably should talk about these monsters at the very, at the very beginning. Like I went through sure on summon or if it stay on the field, anything else summon, you get banish a card that's hard once per turn. If it's sent to graveyard, you search one based on how many search a monster whose level is lower than how many you have in the banish pile pretty much. And this doesn't limit to Tri-Brigade monster. You can search a Zoo monster, you can search a DD Crow, as long as it's Beast Warrior, or Wing Beast. Um, the Silver Shirt, or whatever you want to call it, the Link 3. It's one of your like media point. In some hands you're not able to end with Appaloosa going first because you don't have enough things. This one is like another okay turn one ending board monster. It has a reborn effect. During your opponent's main phase, you can bring a monster back from a graveyard for free. Well, one of the Tri-Beast monsters for free. Negate it, and at the end phase, bounce it back to your hand. If it's into graveyard, you can make your opponent's monster losing attack, but it's probably not that important. But it's an okay one since it has the Tri-Brigade name, and it's a Beast Warrior. For Rigid, I hope all the people who want to max rarity this style already got their Starlights. uh, on board of it, you can bring out a level 4 lower Tri-Beast type monster from your hand. That's it. And sent to graveyard. When sent to graveyard, you draw a card. Then you shuffle, or you put a card back from your hand to the bottom of the deck. And Bear Bloom, the new card, like I said at the beginning, you pitch 2, summon 1 from the banish pile, and send to graveyard, you search your revolt, and shuffle something back. That's the Tri-Brigade monsters, the Tri-Brigade Link monsters. There's an ancient warrior where you it's something you can put on the board in addition to whatever you have to make a extra interruption. It's also one of your way to outwinter. Um, Pretty much you can just skip everything until the final fight, which is quicker fight. You send a card you control from your hand or field to graveyard. The target face up card your opponent controls bounce it back. That's it. And what else? Almarge is needed for in case you want to start with either Kit or Nerval. So you want to normal summon, then link these away into Elmirage. So it trigger both effect to access more cards. Um, this one, the Link 3 Eagle guy, I've seen a lot of people playing it. I've died to this when I was facing the more TCG popular Bird Up deck last format. It can go randomly go up to 48 and has a very niche graveyard interrupting effect where you pretty much only use it to put things back to it gain the attack to attack. That's it. It's a good thing to have. I mean, it's also wing beast. Why not? Then Appaloosa and Access Code. The Link 4, you summon either going first or going second. Depends on the game state. Pretty much self-explanatory. The Zoo cards for the Zoo engine. Well, obviously you don't have to play the Zoo variant, but the Zoo variant is at least currently the most popular one in OCG. So this is pretty much the only XCs you're required, like the minimum amount you need to play for that. If you don't play the Zoo package, there's actually a lot of other things you can try. That's everything I threw in the side deck. Cat, I explained at the beginning. Cat itself is a combo. Like I'll actually show a couple combos afterwards. The third carriers, a lot of people don't play it, but that's still a possible choice. Two's usually enough, but three can come up or not. Second Bird Bloom actually does come up, um, because there are some cases where you actually use a Tri-Brigade effect to summon a Bird Bloom, and if you do that, the Bear Bloom cannot be revived by the revolt, so you cannot just keep recycle. You cannot keep going through your revolts every single turn. Therefore, some people want to have a second Bear Bloom just so they can still regularly make another one like that. The Burrow package where you summon the Wing Barrier statue, and if you do that, there's a couple things like you probably don't play the Zoo engine. These four cards because the extra deck require a little bit more things, and also the main deck require a little bit more things. And because if you play the bird up, you can make your turn one. Well, if you play the bird up package, like the Simorph and the Wing Statue, your building does more toward slightly a small combo deck instead of if you go with the Zoo route or just even more pure Tri-Brigade, you are playing more a control game. Yeah, I'll say. Bird has its advantage. It also has its disadvantage. It really depends on how you wanna try it for the incoming format for different tournaments you're going. If you do play the statue package, you wanna throw in this Tri-Brigade, the spell Rendezvous, whatever it's called. It has a graveyard effect where if any Tri Beast monster you linked is destroyed, you can banish this to protect it once. So your Wing Barrier statue has sort of quote unquote a protection if it's being linked after you summon off the bird. And and you probably want to play either of the Heartbeat Conductor or the GB guy, um, just for the purpose of what having a link to so you can link into Sigmore. Sometimes it's needed. These two you probably only choose either or. Heartbeat Conductor you can raw make it, but it really has no effect. The GB guy has a weird effect where it's an Armades when you attack. So when you attack, it cannot be destroyed by battle, and your opponent can't activate cards with effect. So in situation where you might want to beat over like a random Shadow monster face down, Ray is probably not existing anymore, right? So yeah, and it can happen. It's an option. And if you do play the Wing Barrier statue, you don't want to desire them away, right? So you probably have to replace desire with prosperity. And another thing is like there's a Harpy Featherstorm as I think there's recently having very few people who already top like different kind of tournaments in TCG, and one of them is actually playing Harpy's Featherstorm inside. If you control winged beast monster, which there's not that many, but if you do play the bird up version, there's something you expect to end with. If you do have that, for until the end of the turn, anything you VF the opponent. Negate any monster effect your opponent activates. It's an auto win against a lot of things. It's a normal trap, so it's not affected by back removal majority of the time. It's an option. Like this is a small package you can try, but it probably do conflict with Zoo Engine due to the space issue. So build your deck based on whatever way you like. And there's like another couple random Beast Warrior, or Beast Wing Beast type monster. Remember, Danger Thunderbird, Danger Bigfoot are fit into this category, so yeah, they are possible options. Just saying. Um, yeah, forget about these two. Zuki Alpha is a commonly probably not. It's like a useful side deck card, and actually the type fits the whole archetype, so it has synergy. Ancient Warriors are also Beast Warriors, so if you don't play the zoo, your tanky can still search the Ancient Warriors and put out some random things on the board, which is cute. It's definitely a possible choice. Like for example, if we have what zoos got banned in the future, well now the zoo engine is completely useless. Maybe we play something else, right? Can definitely see happen. So yeah, these are some options. So that's pretty much it. So for that's it's not really a whole deck, like you're not gonna enter tournaments with ratio like this, right? But I pretty much list the majority of the choices that you possibly can have. And that's pretty much it for the explanation for the deck. All right, let me show a couple combos. Uh, well, let me see. Okay, so Tesla number one. This is pretty much a single fractal combo. Your fractal send kit effect, send Nerval fast search, whatever Tri-Brigade you want to have. They all the same. The normal summon, use the effect to banish uh, to summon your Bearbloom, and you go Link, Bearbloom, and Tri-Brigade search into the Link 3. Bearbloom gonna activate, search your Revolt, and you shuffle everything. Shuffle something random back to the bottom. Say Revolt, pass turn. So let me see. During your opponent's turn, well, first of all, the Link 3, or let me use something else. First of all, the Revolt, you can activate it, bring back all 4 of your Tri-Brigade monster. You cannot bring back Bearbloom because it was not proper summon. It was summon of a Tri-Brigade monster. Remember that. Don't cheat with it. I can definitely see people do random thing with it, random illegal thing with that. So on summon, this you have a couple effect. Kit gonna mill another one, which don't matter because the thing that benefit from milling by Kit is Nerval, and we are triggering Nerval in the same chain link. So Kit, if you really want to use it, it's only for the purpose of like chain blocking, which is cute still. Nerval will grab the Tri-Brigade monster back, which so it self replaces itself. Shurag on summon can banish a card on the field, and that's your main interruption. So, well, I have nothing else, so I would just not activate Shurag. So, assume, or imagine it will be like Nerval 1, Shurag 2, and then Ket 3, chain blocking it. K will probably send whatever, send the Curious. Um, what's what? Nerval, search a fractal, so it replaces itself. Then Shurag will banish something to your opponent. And And the Link 3, as I said, it has some effect. It's mainly just because you can't go into anything else. It has a random effect where it can spell summon like a Tri-Brigade monster back. That's it. And pretty much it. That's like these are off one card, just off a single fractal. So that's the first combo. Let me do the second one is fractal plus a Tri-Brigade monster, any Tri-Brigade. So fractal effect, send Nervo if I get a search. I'll grab Kit here. Normal Kit effect, banish 2, spell summon Frigid. Use Frigid effect to bring out the Tri-Brigade from your hand. And these two Tri-Brigade monsters going to Bear Bloom. And then use these two Tri-Brigade Link monster into an Appaloosa. On summon, it will be Frigid 1. No, it will be Bear Bloom 1, try to search so you won't get Ash. Well, there's also Appaloosa. And then also then Frigid 2. I clicked the wrong thing, but whatever, you know that. Search, then you draw another card, pull something else back, and set Revolt. The whole good part about this, like, quote-unquote combo in this deck is, like, you rarely put yourself into nib range. Because I think it was, we go Pitch Fractal, Mill, Search, Normal Summons 1, Banish 2, Summon Link 2, that's 2, Frigid, bring out Fractal, a second Fractal in hand, that's 3, then 2 Tri-Brigade into Bear Bloom, that's 4. On the 5th summon, you pull out Appaloosa. Because like, your opponent will never wanna or never have a good time to nib you ever. And you if you just pass turn, this is like a 2-card combo. You end it with Appaloosa with 2 and a Revolve for into a Shirag and a Search. So that's in my opinion pretty decent board. And what's the other? There's also another different combo. It's Fractal plus any Tri-Beast monster, any Beast, Warrior, Wing Beast. So same thing, Fractal, send Kit effect, send Nervo effect, grab whatever, let me grab Karis at this point. Karis effect, banish 2, Fractal and Kit, special summon Bear Bloom. Use Bear Bloom effect, pitch the other beast, and spell summon either of those back. Use the second one effect to banish 2, which it should be Nervo and whatever you pitched, to spell summon the Ancient Warrior. And here I think this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 4th summon. On the 5th summon, you make an Appaloosa with 3. And then Bear Bloom gonna search, get Revolt, and put another random card to the bottom of the deck. And set Revolt. Here you have an Appaloosa with 3, Ancient Warrior of Bombs, which you can just send a Tenki. Revolt gonna bring 4 monster back into a Shurag, and by going through that, Shurag gonna banish a card, and Nervo gonna be sent to graveyard again. Nervo gonna grab you another monster. So you already see, like, even though you do have a decent board, you're not really like none of the monster really plus. Like the Link 2s are really only swapping cards. So that's also like now you see the issue why Desire is being more played in that, because you can just increase the hand size. And for example, you can Desire first, even you draw like only a hand trap plus another Desire. You just search your Revolt later in the combo, then put a second Desire back to the bottom. So that's why. Let me see. I think there's other. If you open with either Kit or Nervo, you can still make a small board. Just use Nervo as an example. Nervo into Elmirage. Then Nerval effect, bring out Cares. So the requirement for this one is either Kit or Nerval plus another Tri-Beast type monster. They use Cares to pitch the other one. Assume this is just a blank. We don't even need it. Use Cares effect to banish the two you in the graveyard and bring out Bear Bloom. Bear Bloom and the Cares into the link 3. Then Bear Bloom effect. Grab your Revolt. See, now you're still ending with a decent board. It's like, well, ideally you prefer going through another kit. So you have another one in the graveyard, so you can revive 4. But this is still a decent board. So, and I feel like, let me see, I can also show the single cat. Normal Summon Rescue Cat. This is also like a sort of quote-unquote one-card combo. Bring out Cares and bring out Kit. Kit will be negated. Well, both will be negated, so you can't really use it. These two into Rigid. Kit effect, mill Nerval. Nerval effect, grab whatever. I guess use a Fractal as an example. Use Rigid effect, bring out your Fractal. Fractal effect to banish 2 in the graveyard. To special summon Bear Bloom. And then this is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, this combo you can get Nibiru, but you can also get Ash hard. However, this does make your board slightly bigger. And all the monster into Appaloosa. Go Bear Bloom 1, Forager 2 to chain block, but they'll probably don't matter. Draw something, shuffle back, add a revolt, then shuffle something back. Set revolt. Like this, and you a 3 material Appaloosa plus revolt, and I'll say more monster you go through, and I think one more card in hand. No, it's the same as actually, yeah, it's one more card compared to Yopen Fractal single card. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Some cool things you can do with the deck. There are a couple of small combos. I think I mentioned this is a very similar feeling as a pure Zoo deck. Every single monster replaces itself, going through the same monster in the extra deck, going through ending with pretty much the same thing, or either or. And then next turn you do the same thing, repeat, then you beat down, slowly control opponent, snowballing and win. And it's probably not gonna be as dominant as in OCG once we get everything in TCG. However, if you like a fan of zoo monsters or like zoo type of decks, you can honestly try it. Deck is fairly cheap, I think. The only thing costs money is like Fractal. I think it's around like $20 each by the time this video is recorded. Zeus is probably more expensive, and but Zeus is probably needed in like half of the deck in the format. So does Axis Code. And none of the Tri-Brigade cards really worth that much, if I remember correctly. Like Shurag is, I think, what, 10 to 15 at most? Besides that, yeah, everything's still cheap. So sooner than later, get your copies. This is probably not gonna be tier like actual as tier 1 as in OCG, but it's definitely a good, fun variant you can play and decent competitive deck. And let me see. These two are the other. There are two. Well, two of the few Tri-Brigade that already top before Lightning Overdrive. I'll put the links in the description section. One's from Lundrity in the last LCS. One's from Joseph Chang from the PPG this past weekend. and you can already see how the deck, like, it's playable, it's viable for this competitive meta, and give them a shout out. And that's pretty much it. It's gonna be an okay deck. It's not gonna be as dominant as in OCG. At least that's my opinion. Um, it's probably end was gonna be around like Pure Zoo, or maybe similar to how Prank is right now in like quote unquote the TCG tier list. So I hope you like it. It's another deck that's gonna be significantly more powerful after Lightning Overdrive, and that's the whole video. And if you like, please subscribe to the video, subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down in the comment section, tell me whatever you think, whether you like or don't like the deck, and I'll probably covering more different kind of thing in Lightning Overdrive. I think I have like 2 or 3 more like archetype left. So stay focused on the channel, and I will see everyone in the lab in the future. See ya!